We got to 20,000 subscribers thanks to you guys. Thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, it's been a little while now, but we got there in the end. If you want to access, by the way, our program, The Journey, for free, because we got to 20,000, we're doing a giveaway. So make sure you watch the video until the end. Let's get to it.
So there are hundreds of Portuguese idioms, and today, to celebrate our 20,000 subscriber landmark, we've decided to count down our top 20 of very funny, interesting, and yet useful idiomatic expressions.
And by the way, as we do count down our top 20, if you see a red little ball at the corner of the screen, that's just to tell you, be careful. They're not swear,
No.
There's no swearing in those expressions, but you know,
You can't use it in every context.
yeah, you got to be pretty familiar with someone, in order to use that expression. Just a little note.
Aqui há gato. Literally, that means there's a cat here. And what does that mean, Marlon?
Well, you say that when you notice that something is iffy. There's something not quite right here, you know?
Yeah. It could be like a conversation or somebody's telling you something and things are not adding up.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
so you become a bit
good way of-
suspicious.
Yeah, exactly. Aqui há gato. Nascer com o rabo virado para a lua. Literally, to be born with your bottom pointing to the moon.
Or facing the moon.
Now that means I would use that to say that somebody's fortunate. Maybe it was, in English there's an expression, to be born with a silver spoon in one's mouth, something
That's
like that.
it. Yeah, exactly. So if you're fortunate or somebody's fortunate, it could be that they're wealthy or they just do well in life one way or another. It could be in different aspects of life.
Yeah,
You
nasceu
can say
com o
that.
rabo virado para a lua.
Só para inglês ver. That means just for an English person to see. It's a funny one, isn't it? Yeah.
Why would we come up with something like? It's really difficult to track down the origins of these expressions, but that's an interesting one. But
Yeah.
what does it mean?
It means that you're pretending or somebody is trying to display or show something that isn't actually quite true, just for appearances.
Yeah, it displays a little bit of hypocrisy, right? You're putting on a show. Yeah. By the way, if you're enjoying this top 20 list, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Não ter pés nem cabeça. To not have feet nor head.
Nonsense.
That is absolute balderdash. It's nonsense. So that's what you would use that expression when somebody's telling you something, maybe an idea he's got, but it really is not a good idea.
No,
right?
you think it's silly, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
No.
Essa ideia não tem pés nem cabeça.
Uma pilha de nervos. A battery of nerves. So that means when somebody is so stressed, is so agitated, you can tell, right?
Yeah, they're about to explode. They're like a battery. Battery, pilha can also mean pile of things or number of things, but pilha de nervos. Yeah.
Yeah, you could use that with estar. Estou uma pilha de nervos.
Fazer com uma perna às costas. To do it with a leg behind your back. So that means you do it like really easily.
Yeah, it's a piece of cake.
It's a piece of cake.
Barata tonta. Dizzy cockroach. Weird one, isn't it? So that means when you can say to somebody, you look like uma barata tonta. Pareces uma barata tonta. And that means when a person is disoriented.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah, a bit lost. Maybe
Maybe
there's lots of things going on and she doesn't know where to turn to, what to do first.
Yeah, parece uma barata tonta. Trocar por miúdos. To exchange for kids or little things. It's a funny one. So this is like somebody's talking to you and maybe they're speaking very eloquently, but so much so that you don't understand what they're on about. Maybe they're using some posh words.
Big words.
So you would say, troca lá isso por miúdos, troca por miúdos. Meaning, come on.
Yeah.
What?
Give me small words. Give me simple words, basic. Just go straight to the point.
This might be useful actually if you're learning Portuguese and you don't know the words. Maybe they can translate that into simpler terms.
Yeah. Vai pentear macacos. Go comb monkeys. So that means when somebody's annoying you and sometimes your kids, you can say that. I know of 1 or 2 clients of mine who do it, who say that to their
The Portuguese
kids.
expression.
Yeah, vai pentear macacos. Yeah. So basically, just go annoy somebody else. Leave me alone.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, with these expressions, we find in our program, we teach them hundreds of these expressions, and there are hundreds of them, maybe thousands. And sometimes there's a tendency for folks to, as soon as they learn it, they want to use all of them in like 5 in a short sentence or conversation.
Or even a text. It's too much.
Yeah, make sure you familiarize yourself with them, make sure you hear them in context, and then use them like one here, one over there. Otherwise, it sounds unnatural and forced.
And it can be difficult to understand what or the point you're trying to put across. So do it tastefully. Estou-me a borrifar. Literally, I'm spraying myself. So that means when you don't care, you're not bothered about something.
By the way, this is another way of doing it without actually saying the words. We did a video on expressions like gestures that Portuguese use. The link will be in the description below. But sorry, Carla, you were saying.
So this means, exactly that. When you don't care, when you're not bothered about what somebody said, whatever.
By the way, borrifar, that's a difficult sound, the double R, that ch sound. So Carla did a video on how to pronounce that Portuguese sound, and it's tough. But actually, even folks that have never been able to do it in their life, just by watching a minute of that video, they were able to crack it. So the link will be in the description below.
Tirar o cavalinho da chuva. To take away or remove the little horse from under the rain. So that means, or you use it when you want to say to someone, you can give up on that idea. Yeah. You won't be successul.
Yeah, maybe it's not going to work out. Maybe it doesn't have the ability to do it, or the circumstances are not there. So, and normally you would use it with podes, okay, with the verb poder. Podes tirar o cavalinho da chuva. Estar com uma cadela. To be with a female dog. It's kind of weird, but it means you are drunk, or you've drunk a little bit too much, right?
Está com uma cadela. Yeah. It's not very, it's just a common way of saying it, isn't it? Yeah.
Again, be careful who you use these expressions with.
Não ser flor que se cheire. So, not to be a flower one should smell. So that means when you talk about someone, this is always referring to a person that isn't trustworthy. Yeah. Be careful with that person, or even their behavior is a little bit iffy. So be careful with that, or him.
Bicho de 7 cabeças. A 7-headed creature. So that's when someone is perhaps making a big fuss. Not a big fuss, a big...
Complicating things.
Yeah, so the English have the expression, a storm in a teacup. It's kind of like that. You're making a big thing out of this, simple affair. So, bicho de 7 cabeças.
Tudo de patas para o ar. Everything with its paws or legs up in the air. So everything is upside down. And that's when you maybe come in a room, your kid's bedroom, and you can see that everything is a mess. So you would say, está tudo de patas para o ar.
Acordar com os pés de fora. To wake up with your feet uncovered. It's a very useful expression. If somebody in your household wakes up grumpy, or is grumpy in the morning, you could use that. Did you wake up with your feet uncovered? Acordaste com os pés de fora? Yeah.
Vi-me grego. And if you're a girl, you can say vi-me grega. I saw myself Greek. What a weird one. So that means when you're struggling with something, I saw myself struggling real bad. It was so difficult. It was such a challenge. I really struggled with it.
I thought I wasn't going to make it. I saw myself Greek. Muitos anos a virar frangos. Many years turning chickens. So you would use that when you say that, you have a lot of experience. Yeah, you know what, just leave it with me. I've spent many years turning chickens.
Yeah, so someone would sort of like trying to explain something to you, but you have so much experience on it.
Yeah.
Listen, mate, you don't need to tell me how to do it or how it's done.
I got it.
I've got the experience. Yeah. Isto são muitos anos a virar frangos. Não batas mais no ceguinho. Stop hitting the little blind man. So this is when someone tells you something, maybe tells you off or draws your attention to something that you've done or said that wasn't quite right, and they keep
Yeah.
at it, you know, and you say, okay, enough, I got the point, you know, so stop hitting the little blind man.
Não batas mais no ceguinho, pá. Ir com os porcos. To go with the pigs. So there might be some biblical connection here, but it means to die. Somebody's died. So foi-se com os porcos. Somebody has died.
Someone or an animal, and usually it's such a casual expression, you wouldn't be using it with somebody you were close to, or somebody you knew, or the other person was close to. Usually somebody famous that we knew of and the other person didn't realize maybe that this famous person had already passed.
Yeah.
So you could say that it is, foi-se com os porcos.
It could also mean like if your team doesn't win this game, they're out of the championship. So you could say if they don't win the game, vão-se com os porcos. So you could say that as well. It has that meaning too. But again, just be careful. It's one of those expressions that you really need to know your audience. You need to know, be familiar with those people in order to use it.
Yeah, it's too casual, kind of comical, isn't it? So you do have to be familiar with those you're saying it to.
By the way, at the beginning, I said that if you watch until the end, you might get a chance to win a free access to our program called The Journey, European Portuguese program.
For 1 year.
Yeah, so
And if
free
you
access. Sorry.
don't get that, then there's still a chance for 10 of you to get it for half the price for a whole year.
Yeah. So if you're interested, why wouldn't you? You would go to PortugueseWithCarla.com/20,000 to put your name on the ballot. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy the next video, which is about learning hundreds of words, of Portuguese words, just by following a few rules.
6 different rules in just 3 minutes.
Okay, so we'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.